If you are someone who struggles to maintain their focus over a long period of time for more than 5 minutes, you start studying and 5 minutes later, you're scrolling through social media. Well then, here are 5 tips that will help you improve your focus. And these are things that if you apply them, they will instantly allow you to perform your tasks more efficiently and make better use of your time. And you can do these at no cost, so you can start doing them right now. The first tip is to use the power of our breath. Now, breathing is scientifically shown to be correlated with how much we can focus on any given task. When our breathing is shallow, we're not able to focus because our brain isn't getting enough oxygen. Whereas if we were to simply focus on our breath and breathe slowly and deeply, we would be able to soothe our parasympathetic nervous system, which will then help us focus. Also, just this act of focusing on your breath actually activates your cerebral cortex, which is responsible for functions like learning, memory, and many other cognitive functions. If we just take 5 minutes to breathe before we sit down to study or work, we are essentially priming our brain for optimal focus, because our brain will now be in that optimal state where we are alert, yet calm, so that we can focus on what we're doing for a longer period of time. Now, here are 2 exercises that I found really helpful to do before I start to study or work. The first technique is called box breathing, and it basically consists of cycles of inhale, hold, exhale, and hold for varying amounts of time, but they all have to be essentially the same amount of time. Now, this exercise is really effective, firstly because it's really simple to do, and it calms down your nervous system, as well as decreases levels of the stress hormone cortisol, which hinders our ability to focus. So here's how you do it. Start by sitting on a comfortable surface with your back straight. Now exhale all the air in your lungs out. Now inhale for a count of 5. Feel the air entering your lungs. Now hold that air for 5 seconds. Now exhale for another 5 seconds. And hold again for 5 seconds. And you can repeat this for 3 to 5 minutes. Now you can vary the time that you inhale for, but essentially they should remain the same. So if you are inhaling for 7 seconds, then you should hold for 7 seconds and then exhale for 7 seconds as well. The second technique that is really helpful is heart coherence. Now this is a very magical technique that immediately puts you into that calm, alert state that is optimal to focus. So you start once again by sitting on a comfortable surface with your back straight. Now place your hand in the center of your chest and notice your heart beating. Listen and feel those heartbeats. Now bring all of your attention towards the center of your chest and breathe in for 5 seconds. Now breathe out for 5 seconds and continue to breathe in this rhythmic, even pattern, and imagine that you're breathing from your heart. Now, while maintaining your focus on your heart and maintaining this even rhythmic breathing pattern, think of something that makes you feel happy, appreciation, or joy. This could be your family, your pet, a vacation. It could even be mountains or beaches. It could be anything that makes you really happy from inside. Now continue doing these 3 steps for 3 to 5 minutes. I've noticed that when I do this particular exercise of heart coherence, I am already in that flow state where I can dive right into deep work or deep study because my mind is no longer foggy and I'm in that calm and alert state that's perfect for deep work. Now, what I find really fascinating is that every organ and function in our body is running on its own, right? Like we have no control over it. But breathing is the one thing that we don't have control over and it's automatic, yet we can control it if we wanted to. And that makes breathing a very powerful way to improve our focus, our concentration, and even our overall health. Now, before moving on, if you're new on this channel, I am Emma Anam, the world memory champion, world speed reading champion, world mind mapping champion in the junior category, as well as holder of 2 Guinness World Records. And here on YouTube, I share quick and effective tips on memory, speed reading, learning, and much more. And so if you found this video useful so far, then don't forget to click the like and subscribe button for more tips. One of the best and most profound things that you can do to improve your focus and concentration is improve the quality of your sleep. Now, numerous studies have found that when we are sleep deprived, our ability to focus is decreased, our thought processing becomes slower, and our ability to make good decisions is also hampered. So here are 2 tips to improve the quality of your sleep. Now, one thing that's really helped me improve the quality of my sleep and basically sleep deeper in the time that I am sleeping is to wake up and sleep at the same time every day. Now, this basically brings our circadian rhythm back into balance. The circadian rhythm is an internal body clock that basically controls when we wake up, when we sleep, our digestive system, and almost every function in our body. And when we don't wake up at consistent times, we wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning on one day, and then we're sleeping till noon on Sundays. This internal body clock gets knocked out of balance. And so when we start waking up and sleeping at consistent times, this really helps you fall asleep faster and wakes you up automatically when you have to, without an alarm clock. Now, this is especially helpful for people who have a hard time falling asleep. The second thing you can do to improve the quality of your sleep is exercise. Now, exercise requires us to expend energy, right? And this reduces our sleep latency, which is the amount of time it takes for us to fall asleep. So it's really helpful for falling asleep quicker and getting more sleep in the time that you spend in bed. Also, it allows you to sleep deeper because the exercise causes you to enter deeper states of rejuvenative sleep. Our third tip is food. Now, did you know that our brain accounts for only 2% of our body's weight, but uses up more than 20% of the energy that our body produces? That's why it's crucial to feed our brain and give it the right foods with the right nutrients so that it can perform at its best. Now, personally, I've noticed that when I had a diet that was high in processed and sugary foods, I wasn't able to focus on any task for a long period of time. Because when I had those foods that had sugar and had a lot of oil, they would initially give me a spike in dopamine, but eventually my glucose levels would crash down, leading to a foggy brain and being unable to focus. But then when I shifted my diet to more whole foods like vegetables, healthy carbs, and proteins, I noticed that I was able to focus over a longer period of time. So before, I wasn't even able to sit down for a stretch of 30 minutes to even write an essay. But after changing up my diet, I could focus and stay concentrated on the task I was doing for a longer period of time with efficiency. Now, there are many foods that are scientifically proven to be good for our memory, for our learning, and for our concentration. And I have an entire video on those, which you can look at right here. Now, I will see you all in the next video next week. And until then, be happy and be joyful.